The head of the ACA League, Mairbek Khasiev, reacted to the words of UFC President Dan White, who called his decision to stop the quarterfinal fight of the lightweight Grand Prix between Ali Bagov and Rashid Magomedov extremely unprofessional and at the same time amazing. It's hard to argue now, but a spontaneous decision can hit both 0 and top 10, in this case it hit the top 10. He took his words with a smile. I like the adequacy of the person. It appears to be adequate. Another would call crazy, but sometimes spontaneity hits the top 10. Let him adopt. I said that I was going to break the back of the UFC, and now I will repeat it. And why should I think about the second, third leagues? If you do not dream of defeating the strongest, why do anything at all? At the moment, the UFC is undeniably the best league in the world, and comparing the ACA and the UFC is not serious right now. Give us 1/3 of the UFC budget and I'll show you who's the baddest. Because now we do not think about profit, but think about the goal that we have set. We have a different weight category in terms of financial capabilities. Give me 1/5 of what the UFC has and I'll show you what the UFC is. Recall that the fight between Bagov and Magomedov, which became the second most important event of the ACA 141 tournament, was stopped before the start of the 5th round, when it became clear to everyone in the hall that the fighters were trying not to harm each other, turning the fight into a friendly sparring. A day after the early defeat in the duel against Jamal Hill, Thiago Santos announced that he was not ashamed of his preparation and performance, and also promised the fans to return stronger than he was before. I worked hard and had an amazing training camp. I left everything there, but it still wasn't enough. I'm not ashamed of it, just a bad day at the office. My congratulations to Hill. I will come back stronger and better. Thank you all. Tony Ferguson has decided on the choice of a team that should help him return his career to a successful track. Representatives of the Jacksonville MMA club officially announced that Ferguson became a member of their gym, and the fighter confirmed this information on his social networks. "Welcome Tony Ferguson," reads the entry on the team's official account. At the moment, 38-year-old Tony Ferguson is on a series of 4 defeats, the last of which he suffered in May of this year, losing by knockout in the 2nd round to Michael Chandler. After an unsuccessful confrontation with the former Bellator champion, Ferguson, who practiced self-training, announced that he would entrust his training process to specialists and become a member of a professional team. UFC bantamweight number 5 Marlon Vera has explained why he fights Dominic Cruz and not Petr Yan. "We were offered to fight on August 13th, but Petr Yan, that fat cunt, refused the fight because at that moment he was eating pizza in Italy. He said that he would not have enough time to prepare and weight cut. If I'm such an easy fight for you, why don't you finish your last bite and kick my ass?" But he pulled out of the fight, saying he wanted to fight in October or November. "You're not cool enough to wait for you, mate. I want to act, I want to fight, I want to earn, agree, and let's go. No trash talk, I just told what really happened. I have no enmity towards this fat Russian guy, he just didn't have enough time." Anthony Smith, who lost to Magomedov Ankalaev by TKO in the previous match, is confident that he dominated the Russian for most of the fight. "I stand my ground, I was good, and the fight was perfect. Nothing he did came as a surprise to me. I thought he would be better, but he was not as good as I expected. The whole first round, the thought did not leave me, it's damn easy. I give him credit, but he didn't do anything to me. He's good, but this fight didn't prove me wrong. Like I said, he's not the division's boogeyman." Earlier, Smith, who allegedly suffered a broken ankle in the fight, called the defeat accidental, saying that his injury was not the result of Ankalaev's successful actions. UFC lightweight division number 13 Dan Hooker, who challenged Tony Ferguson a week ago, believes their fight could take place on November 12 at UFC 281 in New York. Madison Square Garden. UFC 281. "Let's do it," wrote the New Zealand fighter on the social network, referring to Tony. According to Hooker, he chose this date because he wants to fight on the same card as teammate Israel Adesanya, who will defend the UFC middleweight title against Alex Pereira in the main event of the numbered event. "Adesanya texted me, bro, it would be nice if you could get a fight with Ferguson on November 12th in New York. I wanted to fight in August, but they couldn't find an opponent for me. I wanted to fight in October, but nothing came of it either. It's November and I don't know what excuse Ferguson can have. I don't understand who else he thinks he can fight. I think this is the biggest fight he can get and Madison Square Garden is perfect for that. Can't you prepare in 12 to 13 weeks? Then just retire. If you can't get your butt out of bed for 12 weeks, then just retire. Here's what I think about it. Note that Ferguson has not yet reacted to the challenge of a potential opponent. Former two-weight UFC champ Henry Sejudo agrees with the bookmakers that Petr Yan is a multiple favorite against Sean O'Malley. Petr Yan is a very experienced fighter, and I know a thing or two about the Russians. To beat a guy like that you have to be dirty and tough, and I don't think Sean O'Malley has the style and mental toughness to take him down. Unless Sean Stinky can surprise him with a takedown, but I don't see any other options for how he defeats Petr Yan. Sean does not have such experience and such endurance. So you guys should get ready for little Cinderella to fall. After an early victory over Anthony Smith, Magomed Ankalaev may face former UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz in his next fight. I have already accepted the fight with the Polish power of Jan Blachowicz. New York, Vegas, it doesn't matter. If I have to beat everyone and win 15 fights in a row, I will do it. To be the best you have to fight the best, and I don't pick my opponents. You lost your last 2 fights and you won't get a title shot. Dana White won't save you. Mick Maynard, don't let this guy get away from me, I'll stop him. Poland has 38 million, that doesn't make you a big star. The UFC asked me to fight you and I said yes, like I always do. Let's do it, I'm ready. The current WBC heavyweight boxing champion has announced that he is going to return to the ring and complete another trilogy. I decided to return to boxing because I could be the first world heavyweight champion to win 2 trilogies. One with Deontay Wilder and one with Derek Chisora. I always said I would fight Derek at the end of my career, and here we are. Fury faced Chisora twice, in 2011 and 2014, winning both fights. The last fight of the Gypsy King was in April of this year, knocking out Dillian Whyte in the 6th round. Fury previously revealed that he had cooled off the idea of a hybrid fight against reigning UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, putting an end to talk of the Cameroonian leaving the organization.